Get it. Okay, first up, chat. Let's do this. Because I feel like you want to start with the tanks first. So, adjustments for our tank characters, chat. Angela. Basically, they are making her swiftier and sturdier than ever. Angela's survivability and mobility gets a slight boost. Reduce the assassin's charge cooldown from 6 to 4 seconds, and in shielded stance, increase the shield value from 300 to 350. Upon canceling the shield, increases the shield recovery rate from 50 a second to 60 health a second, and reduce the interval between the shield uses from 1.5 to 1 second. So it looks like you're going to be able to recharge your shield a little faster, about 10 seconds, a 10 healing per second faster. You get your shield value from 3 to 350, and you get to use your shield a little bit more frequently. Instead of 1.5 second cooldowns, you get it 1 second now. And they made her a little, they reduced one of her abilities, the Assassin's Charge. Okay. I don't know. I just played against an Angela that did not change the Angela, and she kind of beat her ass, so I'm kind of scared now. Devil Dinosaur. I never thought Devil Dinosaur was a problem. I thought was a lot of fun to play against, because as a DPS player, you just shred him and hear all these headshots, so I actually hope they don't kill this character. But for Devil Dinosaur, they said, looks like Moon Girl needs to put her big buddy on a slight diet. Damn, sounds like Emily to me. We're slightly reducing Devil Dinosaur's damage, survivability, and crowd control to balance the experience for other vanguards facing him. Uh-oh, I think they're going to kill Devil Dinosaur. Remove the knockdown effect from the impact beam. You can't knock down flyers anymore. Reduce the percentage damage per second of the bleed effect from 3% to 1.5%. Wow. And also increase the buddy barrier cooldown from 10 to 12 seconds. Wow. Okay. Hopefully he's still going to be able to be played, because I kind of like Devil Dinosaur, chat. Especially when I'm playing Punisher. I love riding the shit out of that dinosaur, bro. Anyways, Magneto. The mutant revolution will not be stopped. We're increasing the functionality and threat level of Magneto's ultimate ability. They're increasing Magneto's ultimate ability. I don't know if you guys remember last time, but they buffed Magneto's ult speed, so they're actually increasing it now. Increase the Meteor M ultimate ability maximum duration from 4 to 5 seconds. What? And they increase the damage dealt when fully charged from 300 to 350. Damn, Mr. Magneto. Bro, I don't know why, but Magneto, ever since this game has came out, has been a very, 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 very like strong pick for tanks, and they don't seem to nerf this guy. They keep buffing him, man. Magneto is always what's that word that I'm looking for? He's not stable, but he's very yeah, he's a very consistent, strong, reliable tank. Exactly. I don't think he's ever not been a great pick. Rogue Sugar. She's tougher than ever. Ana gets a slight increase to her mobility and survivability. Decrease the cooldown of Fatal Attraction from 14 to 12 seconds, and they reduce the energy consumption when using defensive stance from 60 a second to 50 a second. They also increased absorbed damage energy conversion ratio, sorry, from 35 to 55%. Damn. Seems like we're going to get a little bit of more Rogue here, chat. A little bit more Rogue, a little bit more Magneto, a little bit more Angela. Okay. And it looks like they, out of all the tanks, it looks like they only nerfed the Devil Dinosaur. And team-up abilities, adjusted or removed. The explosive entanglement with Gambit, Magneto, and Rogue. The mutant drama is cooling down just a bit. Reduce the healing and damage provided by Hearts as One, Rogue. And they reduce the percentage damage dealt per attack from 3 to 2%. Reduce the spell field healing provided per attack from 55 to 25. That is good. That is good. because if you buff Rogue over here, you're going to have to nerf at least something. So they nerfed the team up. So these are your tank changes, chat. Moving on to your DPS. Ooh. Okay, let's get this. And there is some blade changes for our blade players out there. I can't wait until all 2 blade players are going to be happy. The Daywalker is ready to carve up the competition. We've slightly increased Blade's close-up range combat capabilities. Increase the unstoppable duration provided after each use of Scarlet Shroud from 0.4 to 1 second. And while in Sword Stance, increase the initial hit damage of Daywalker Dash from 20 to 30 and increase the damage per spin from 8 to 10. So the total damage increase from 52 to 70. Okay. I'm kind of interested to see if that actually makes Blade playable, if not meta. So that's going to be very interesting to see, chat. Bro, I'm going to go down the left side and I'll get to the right side in a second. Daredevil. Please be a nerf. I'm sorry, Daredevil needs a nerf, chat. The man without fear will need to rely a bit more on his other senses now. Like sniffing. Like when you play against a black cat, maybe you want to sniff a little bit more. We're reducing Daredevil's ability to scout enemy team positions while roaming the outskirts and lowering his engagement distance and post-engagement survivability. Reduce the radar sense's maximum detection range from 50 to 40 meters. Wow, 10 meter radius reduction. Reduce the Sonic Pursuit's dash targeting distance from 20 to 12 meters. And reduce objections duration from 1.5 to 1.2 seconds. That's good. You know what? Good. Good. Human Torch. Flame on Johnny. We're slightly increasing Human Torch's mobility. Reduce Flaming Meteor cooldown from 20 to 15 seconds. And they also reduce the Plasma Body single charge energize time from 10 to 8 seconds. So, Human Torch is getting a little bit of buffs. Black Cat. Felicia's luck might have finally run out. We're increasing the fortune cost to purchase relics, decreasing her fortune acquisition efficiency, and lowering her survivability and damage. Oh my god, Guang Guang! Xiong, thank you! Reduce Cat's Cradle damage from 50 to 40. Remove 1 charge, changing it to a cooldown, and reduce the cooldown from 10 to 8 seconds. They are reduce the Phantom Pursuit damage from 75 to 70 damage. Also, they're increasing the fortune costs for Chernobog's Crystal, Ring of Zona, and Mento Fish from 200 to 300. Increase the fortune costs for the Faltine Flame Orb from 100 to 300. And it can no longer reveal enemies behind objects. Wow, that's a lot of change, bro. That is a lot of change. That is a huge change, chat. And last one. Reduce the calling card ultimate ability dash targeting's distance from 60 meters to 40 meters. Participating in eliminations no longer refresh the remaining duration. Instead, it adds 3 seconds to the current remaining time, up to a maximum of 10 seconds. Oh my god. And they also increase the ultimate's second hit base damage from 30 to 70. Oh my. But remove the percentage damage for 250 health enemies. Total damage of 2 attacks is reduced from 110 to 100. And for 600 health enemies, the damage of 2 attacks is reduced from 180 to 100. Additionally, reduce the fortune gain from this attack from 300 to 200. Oh my, yeah, she's dead, chat. In my opinion, I think they just literally took Black Cat into the back alley and just shot her. And I think they just ruined, yeah, bro. Like, I can understand, like, a little bit of changes, you know, here and there, but I think they actually done a lot to her. Wow. And the two characters that I play the most. Let's see this, chat. Phoenix!
Your bald king.
The cosmic flames are burning a little less brightly from afar. We're slightly reducing Jean's flanking, sustain, and mid to long range damage capabilities. Reduce the healing over time provided after detonating sparks from 10 healing a second to 5 healing a second. Okay. Cosmic Flames damage fall off. Adjust the maximum damage fall off at 30 meters from 75% damage to 65%. The distance to KO a 250 health enemy with 2 critical hits is shortened from 18 to 16 meters. At maximum fall off, a single hit damage is reduced from 45 damage to 39. The number of hits required to KO a 250 health enemy is increased from 5 to 6. Damn. Okay. And also Star-Lord. Time to get a little closer for those legendary plays. Peter's baseline and mid to long range damage capabilities are getting toned down. Wow, they're nerfing a lot of range. Elemental guns damage fall off. Adjust the maximum damage fall off at 25 meters from 65% damage to 50%. This does not affect his ultimate ability though. So he still has his 50 bullets. Okay. Wow, a lot of changes here, chat. This is crazy. Elsa Bloodstone. We have to get through this fast. Sorry, chat. We have content. Star-Lord is dead. I don't think Star-Lord is dead, chat. Come on. I think he would still probably be a really good, reliable pick. We'll see. I'll be playing him. Elsa Bloodstone's legacy grows stronger. I don't know if I like those words. Elsa is getting an increase to her instinct accumulation speed for a slight bump to her baseline performance. They said reduce the damage required to upgrade the passive skill inherited instinct from 1,667 to 1,111. The damage to rating conversion multiplier is increased from 0.0006 to 0.0009. Okay. Very interesting. Moon Knight. Khonshu demands a bit more precision from his avatar. Mark is getting a reduction to his damage capabilities. Reduce the Crescent Dart single shot damage from 25 to 23, and they also reduce the Moonblade damage from 80 to 70. When Crescent Darts and Moonblades bounce between enemies of Unks, adjust the damage attenuation per bounce from 80% to 70%. Moon Knight will now deal less damage when bouncing attacks among multiple targets or off Unks. You know, which that makes a lot of sense because if you I think if you add Moon Knight and then this new character that's coming out, what do you call it? Why did I forget his name already? Chat, what's his name again? Cyclops. I think if you combine both of those AoE damage characters, you might be shredding a lot of teams, bro. You might be shredding a lot of teams. So that's probably why they nerfed him. Namor! The king of Atlantis commands the tides with greater frequency. Namor's monstro spawns are getting a slight coverage increase. Increase the aquatic dominion cooldown reduction granted when Trident of Neptune hits enemies from 1 to 1.3 seconds. Ooh! You're going to be able to get your squids a little bit more frequently. Okay, if you hit your shots. Ooh, okay. And I think that is all the changes for our fellow DPS characters. So we have a buff on Blade, we have a buff on Elsa, we have a nerf on Daredevil, we have a nerf on Moon Knight, we have a buff on Namor, we have a buff on Human Torch, we have a huge nerf on Black Cat, we have a nerf on Phoenix, and we also have a nerf on Star-Lord, chat. There you guys go. And now all the support players out there. We have 6 changes for support characters, and then we're going to jump straight into the content because we're late. Cloak and Dagger, the divine duo, brings even more light to the shadows. Cloak and Dagger are now seeing an increase in baseline healing capabilities. When Light Force Dagger directly hits allies, reduce the single target healing from 16 to 12, and increase the spell field healing from 16 to 20 for directly hit teammates. The healing remains the same, but the AoE healing is increased. And they also increased the healing boost ratio provided by the Veil of Light Force ability from 15 to 20%, chat. Okay. Adam Warlock. The Golden Gladiator's Cosmic Karma flows more smoothly, or slightly increasing Adam's damage to healing conversion efficiency. Increase the Avatar life stream charge time when reduction when Cosmic Cluster hits enemies from 0.48 to 0.6 seconds. Okay. And also Gambit. Wow, finally another Gambit nerf, even though Gambit is still like relatively really strong. The Raging Cajun's biggest hand is losing a bit of its sting. We've reduced the offensive capabilities of Gambit's ultimate. Reduce the bonus damage multiplier provided by Rage and Royal Flush, the ultimate ability, from 25 to 20%. And they also reduced the movement speed bonus from 40 to 30%. Ooh, that's going to be very, very interesting to see if Gambit is still going to be a very meta ban or not. That's gonna be crazy, chat. Okay, and then on the other side, the Age of Ultron is facing some minor technical difficulties. Ultron's drone coverage range is taking a hit to lower the buff capabilities provided to allies, and we're reducing his ultimate ability charge speed. Wow, Ultron's getting a nerf. We reduce imperative
and dangerous.
Patch maximum drone attach distance from 35 to 30 meters. They increase the imperative wall fire cooldown from 10 to 12 seconds. And they also are increasing the energy cost of Rage of Ultron, his ultimate ability, from 4,000 to 4,300. You know, that's a huge nerf. I think that's a huge nerf to triple support. Maybe they're doing these changes so he's not like a good pick into maybe the triple support, even though he's like a triple support character. I don't know. That's crazy, though. I don't think Ultron's going to be all that much. Ultron caught a stray. Deadpool Strategist. The Merc with a mouth is handing out even more band-aids. Wade is seeing a slight increase in his baseline healing capabilities. In gun form, increase the bouncing bobblehead continuous healing provided by the spell field from 40 to 50 healing a second, which is standard, and then from 50 to 55 healing upgraded. And in White Fox, Amihan's mystical charms are a little more contained. White Fox's baseline crowd control capabilities are being slightly reduced. Reduce the charm and invincibility spell field radius of Spectral Surge from 0.8 meters to 0.6 meters. So you have to be a little bit more precise and a little bit more accurate with that ability. So, chat, what are you guys' thoughts on this patch? I think overall this is a pretty good patch. I don't think there's any really bad thing about this, even though, like, I think Ultron caught a stray here. I don't know why Ultron caught a stray. The Cloak and Dagger, I could feel like is... Nah, that's not an L patch, bro. I think this is a pretty solid patch. Cloak and Dagger is getting a little bit of a buff. I mean, because to be honest with you, she hasn't really been seen that much lately. Adam Warlock is getting a little bit of a buff. Gambit is getting a nerf, which is much needed. White Fox is going to be a little bit more accurate. Deadpool is getting a little slight change. What else? You have Blade. Blade has been useless since that character came out, chat. So Blade's getting a little bit of a buff. Elsa, I don't know why that she needed. I don't think Elsa really needed a slight little buff, but she got a buff. Khonshu, Moon Knight got a nerf. Namor got a buff. Daredevil got a nerf, thank God. Human Torch got a little bit of a buff. Black Cat, thank goodness, got a nerf. Phoenix got a nerf. Star-Lord got a nerf. Angela got a buff, Devil Dinosaur got a nerf, Magneto got a buff, and also Rogue got a buff as well. And the last thing that I am going to say about this is that when you buff a lot of characters, chat, that's very scary. Instead of nerfing characters to get in line with the other characters, they're buffing a lot of characters to like be in line. And when you start buffing and buffing and buffing and buffing, power creep, bro, it's not good. Not good. But yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, chat.